Just a stone's throw from breathtaking Long Island Sound is the story of an amazing young lady. That young lady is Grace Cummings, a recent graduate of Daniel Hand High School in Madison, Connecticut. A fearless, self-motivated student athlete, Grace excels in field hockey, ice hockey, and tennis.
Grace played for the Connecticut Polar Bears, which is a storied team, and sent a lot of Olympians off, so I knew she had game. She would come to our skate with the varsity evenings, so I knew she had good edges and a good sense of the game. She was quiet, but she loved to play, and she was intense when she was a player. So we knew right away when she made it to Daniel Hand, starting freshman year, she was going to help us out.
She's the same kid that walked through the door when I first met her when I was teaching at the Madison Racket Club, when she was maybe 5 or 6 years old. She's the exact same kid that I knew then.
She missed a year of field hockey, so I think that hurt her, but there was never a question, at least in her being, that led me to believe that she was at risk or that, anything was risky. So it was easy, really easy, because she never let us see anything else.
In the performing arts, she's a member of the percussion sections of both the school's marching and concert bands. And in the classroom, she's an honor student with a 3.98 grade point average.
She's a very well-respected member of the community. Just a couple of weeks ago, we have an honors breakfast each trimester for students who have gotten honors, and one student is asked to speak in front of the student body, and that student was Grace. And you could see that her peers really respected her. It was nice to hear her speech and to watch the student body really listen to her and really applaud her in the end.
While those accomplishments are amazing, they are made even more remarkable by the fact that since a very young age, Grace has been challenged by serious health issues.
When Grace was born, the day after she was born, the pediatrician on call said she was jaundiced. And our first daughter had been jaundiced, and we thought it was just a newborn jaundice, so we thought we'd just put her next to the window and she'd be fine when she got home. But they kept her longer than usual, and then when she came home with the bilirubin lights, and the visiting nurses came every day to take blood samples, and they never got any better, her liver levels. So by the 9th day, I think the nurse said that the baby had to go back in the hospital. Grace had to go in the hospital. Somebody has to do something.
There were a couple of times that I thought that we might lose her. And again, being a father, I tended to always be the positive one and ignore the reality of the situation. Colleen didn't. But it became very evident that something was very wrong and something had to be done.
In case of Grace, she did not have any major signs of liver failure, but she was having these recurrent episodes of cholangitis and abnormal liver tests. And clearly, based on that trajectory, it was clear to us that she was heading into life-threatening liver failure in a very short order of time.
At the point that we found out that she needed a liver transplant, I think in our minds, we kind of already figured that out, because this was just getting worse and worse, and she was getting sicker and sicker, missing more school, and it just couldn't go on the way that it was going on.
When we figured out that I would need a transplant, I don't know, I was kind of scared, because I didn't really, that's a major surgery, and I didn't know what to expect. But I never really felt like it was actually going to happen until it did. So I just tried to put it out of my mind and live my life one day at a time until it came.
The MELD score and the liver transplant didn't necessarily all work together to get a donor, and by the time she would be so sick that we would be able to get a donor, that would make her chances of successful recovery even more difficult for her. So I think we decided as a family that we had to go try and find a donor.
My family and I decided to send my letter over the internet because we wanted it to reach as many people as possible so that we could hopefully find someone who could help me.
That eventual donor came from an unlikely place, Daniel Hand High School's alumni base.
My girlfriend was 7 months pregnant at the time, and I was so excited just to meet my boy then she saw it on Facebook, the letter that her family wrote, and she read it to me. Then I just kind of put myself in her parents' shoes, and I never want to feel that much pain. And if that happened to my son, I would want someone to come forward. So immediately I called and went through the process.
After my surgery, I just focused on getting better because I knew that even though I didn't feel great now, it was worth feeling better later and not getting sick as often. Brady, I think he's an incredible person for even doing what he did, because I don't think there are many people who would be willing to do that for a complete stranger. He's just like a great person all around, and I'm thankful to him every day.
Having met her for the first time, when she stepped on the ice at our first practice, I didn't know her capabilities, her limits physically, and so I said to her, I understand you've been through a lot. If you need a break at all during this practice, just let me know. And that's the last we've ever spoken of it.
The very embodiment of selflessness and helping others, Grace has been highly involved with the American Liver Foundation for more than 10 years.
Well, Grace's ability to pay it forward was, even when she wasn't ill, she knew that her future held probably a liver transplant. And it impressed me so much that at such a young age, she was just so dedicated to supporting the American Liver Foundation, coming out to all of these walks. Her energy and her enthusiasm is in a young child, because when I met her she was very young, was what really struck me.
Kids know on her team what she's endured, so they're never going to feel sorry for themselves. They're going to go out and work that much harder. Almost like, if Grace can do it, I can do it.
Things don't always get better, but sometimes they do, and when they do, it's a very positive, uplifting experience for anybody that's involved in it. And I think that's really the message of Grace's story and what she's been able to achieve through her lifetime.
Grace epitomizes enjoying the journey. Her journey was tremendous. She had to sit out an entire year, and I think her hope was that she would be able to get back to what she does, come to school, be a great scholar, and be able to play sports every day, all 3 seasons. That's what she loved to do, and she's living it.
Despite missing 6 months of school, Grace recently graduated on time and near the top of her class academically, all the while remaining vigilant at staying healthy and giving back to others as others have given to her. And so, in recognition of her many outstanding accomplishments and tremendous resolve in the face of adversity, Grace Cummings is the 2015 recipient of the National High School Spirit of Sport Award.
At this time, I would like to ask NFHS Board President Tom Mezzanotte to join me on stage. Tom will be presenting a plaque to the school, which will be accepted by Daniel Hand High School Athletic Director Craig Simple. We'd also ask Grace's parents, George and Colleen Cummings, to come forward. And ladies and gentlemen, please recognize once again the 2015 National High School Spirit of Sport winner, Grace Cummings. Grace, we are extremely proud of you. Congratulations and the very best of luck as you head to Notre Dame in the fall. Our 2015 Spirit of Sport winner, Grace Cummings.